Hi all the grade 8 learners out there. I hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome to English This Way. I'm Ma'am Kena, your English learning buddy, and I guarantee you a day full of learning and discoveries. Come, join me. Get your pen and paper and start learning and loving English.
Good day, learners! Our lesson for the day is about conventions in citing sources. Are you ready to listen? Okay, very good. Now let's proceed to the next slide. At the end of this discussion, you are expected to define key terms used in bibliographies, give the significance of citing sources, identify the types of various sources to be cited and its bibliographic parts, and last, use conventions in citing sources. Before we proceed to the definition of terms, I have a question for you. Why we need to cite sources? Okay, here are some important reasons why we need to cite the sources. The first one is, it acknowledges the authors. It gives the reader and you more details about the sources. By indicating whether the writer's sources are trustworthy, it demonstrates the writer's credibility. And of course, it makes sure that the information in the various sources is supported by reason, reality, and facts. And last, it prevents plagiarism because it shows which ideas are yours and which ideas belong to another person. I hope you will remember those some important reasons why we need to cite the sources. Now let us have the following terminologies: the bibliography, citation, and references. Let us start with the word bibliography. What is bibliography? It is taken from the Greek word biblion, which means book, and graphia, which means to write. A bibliography is a list of all the sources the writer has used when writing the paper. Every source used in a formal paper should be listed in the bibliography, whether it was explicitly quoted or only briefly summarized. A bibliography may be included at the end. How about citation? It is a form of documentation, and this is the way you tell your readers that certain material in your written work came from another source. And the last, the reference. Reference is usually come at the end of a text, essay, or research report, and should contain only those works cited within the text. So use the term references to cover works cited. Here are our conventional citation styles. The first one is Modern Language Association of America, or what we call the MLA style. This is the language arts, cultural studies, and other humanities subjects most frequently employ MLA format when citing sources. We also have American Psychological Association, or what we call APA style. It is frequently used for social sciences to cite sources like psychology, education, sociology, and the like. And the last, the Chicago Manual of Style. It is more frequently used in literature, history, and the arts. In this lesson, we will adhere to the APA's 7th edition standards for bibliography information formats. This style has a defined format for entries in the reference list and within the text. Let's proceed to different types of sources. We have print sources and online sources. Print sources have been published in oriented format such as books and periodicals like newspaper article in print, magazines, and journal article in print. While in online sources, it have been taken from the internet. It is also called electronic sources. Examples are blog, websites, magazines, online article, journal online article, and ebook. How are we going to cite these sources of information using APA format? This is the format when you are citing sources from the book. When you write the name of the authors, their name should be inverted. The last name is written first, followed by a comma, and then the initials. After initials, there need to be a period. A gap is used to divide initials. Check the name's chronological sequence as it appears in the book. An ampersand is typically used to indicate that there are two or more authors. How about the copyright year? You have to put the publishing year in parentheses, and do not forget to put a period after a closing parenthesis. The title of the book is in italics. Only the first letter of the title should be capitalized. If there is a subtitle, capitalize the first letter of the first and second parts. And don't forget that you have to capitalize the proper nouns and put a period at the conclusion. And also, put the volume or edition number in parentheses after the book title if it includes one. ED stands for edition. And the last one, indicate the number of the publisher followed by a period, and do not include the location. Let's have an examples. This is the format if the book has a single author. If there are two authors, they are connected by ampersand. If there are two or more authors, you have to include all the names until the 20th author. So for now, just take a look at the given examples so you can familiarize how to cite sources from the book using APA format. We are done with books. Let us now go with periodicals such as journals, magazines, and newspapers. So here is the format when you are citing periodicals. The first one is the author. Again, it should be inverted. The last name is written first, followed by a comma and then the initial. After the initial, there need to be a period. A gap is used to divide initials. Check the name's chronological sequence as it appears in the book. An ampersand is typically used to indicate that there are two or more authors. And put the publishing year in parentheses, and do not forget to put a period after the closing parentheses. If in book the title is italicized, in periodical sources is not. Next, you have to capitalize each important term in the periodical's name. The periodical's name should be italicized and you have to end it with a comma. For the volume and issue, it should be italicized. The volume number and the issue number shouldn't be separated by a space. Put the issue number between parentheses. Never italize. Put a comma after the parentheses. The volume should be immediately followed by a comma if there is no issue number. And next, include a list of the article's pages. The article's first and last pages should be separated by an end dash. Avoid putting spaces before after the end dash. And last, you have to include the DOI or URL of the article if it includes one. Do not add a period to the end of the DOI or URL. Learners, you have to take note of this. If no volume, issue, or page numbers are provided, skip them in the citation. Okay, let's just look at the examples. In journal article print and journal online print, the difference between article print and online print is you just added the URL. If you get the information online, you have to include the URL. Same with the magazine article print and the magazine online article. Again, just take a look so you can familiarize with the different formats from periodical sources. And also, another one is the newspaper article print and news online article. It's the same with the magazine and journal format. So here are the other examples of online sources. We have ebook, website, and blog post. You can go back to the slide so you can memorize or familiarize the format of other examples of online sources. Let's have a reminder. In the actual and complete list of references, bibliographic entries are arranged alphabetically. When there are several articles written by the same author or by writers mentioned in the same order, the entries should be placed in chronological order, starting with the latest. Your reference list should have a 1.5-inch indentation on all lines following the first line for each entry. This is referred to as a hanging indentation. Alright, let's check your understanding. Learners, kindly get your pen and paper for our short quiz. So for the question number 1, fill in the blanks with the correct term to complete the format. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer the 2 questions. For number 1, we have author, blank, title of the book, the edition, and the publisher. So what is it? Letter A, edition. Letter B, copyright year. Letter C, volume. And letter D, issue. Okay, the correct answer is letter B, copyright year. Very good, you got it correct. For question number 2, this is the format if you're going to cite sources from periodicals. We have author, year, title of the article, name of the periodical, blank, and issue, page, and URL. Okay, the correct answer is letter D, that is written in italics. For this item, you just have to use the information below and convert them into their proper citations using the APA 7th edition format. Don't forget the correct use of punctuation marks and proper indentation. Write your answers in your paper and I'll give you 1 minute to answer this. Your timer starts now. Okay, time is up. The correct answer is... Just take a look if your answer is correct. Don't forget to consider the proper punctuation marks. For the next question, your timer starts now. Okay, time is up. The correct answer is... Let's see if your answer is correct. Okay, very good. I hope your answer is correct. For the last item, your timer starts now. Let's see if you cite it correctly. Don't forget to look, the volume should be italicized, the issue number is not. I hope your answer is correct. And if that is correct, good job. That means that you understand our lesson for today. I hope you enjoy our discussion for today. And I would like to thank you very much for listening. See you in our next class. Goodbye!